Hi everyone, this is Becky Toviz. I am the Crafty Chamarita. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching me live or if you're catching me on the replay, I'm several hours delayed in doing my live today. I don't know if I mentioned to you that I am part of our parish choir, and one of my friend's fathers passed away, and she asked if our choir could sing for his funeral. So that's what I was doing during my regularly scheduled live. So that's why I delayed it for today. And I'm having trouble showing my face on this live. So I'm just going to go ahead and do without it, and then I'll fix it later on. And by fix it, I mean, I'm going to call up my son and ask him to fix it because I don't know what to do. So anyway, I wanted to share with you a collection that I am absolutely in love with. The stamp set is called Perfectly Pears, and the collection is called Painterly Pears Collection. So it comes with the stamp, it comes with the designer series paper, it also comes with the embellishments, and for the life of me, I don't know where it is. Okay, here it goes. Here you go. And I know it comes with some other things, but I forgot to look it up. So anyway, I had so much fun with this, and I'll tell you why. Because I just love the designer series paper. And so today's live is going to focus on one of the designer series paper, but I'll show you the other cards that I made with it. But let me just show you some of the papers that are included. I only ordered one pack, and so my sister, I think I may have mentioned it before, she made swaps for me, when we had our team swap. So she used some of the paper. I tell you, this paper is gorgeous. Look at that. So I actually ordered several more packs because I just love this paper. Isn't that so pretty? And this one is so cool because the dies that come in this collection actually cut out these pears. So I took one of the sheets, I cut everything out, and I used it for my project. So let me show you. Let me just grab it. I'm trying not to move things where everything will fall down. So these are just some of the pieces that I still have. I cut out the whole sheet and I ended up not even using everything. So I'm definitely going to create more cards with this. And of course, if you don't want to use a die, you can always fussy cut it. I'm not a big fan of fussy cutting like some people out there, but I can do it if I have to. But this is the paper that I wanted to share with you because this is perfect. When I did the unboxing, I said I was going to save it for a scrapbooking page, but I went ahead and decided I'm just going to cut it up because I can always order more packs of this paper, right? Such pretty paper. So before I cut it up, I wanted to show you the measurement. So if you want to cut the paper so that it's portrait, and portrait means, I'm going to cut it this size, it's going to be standing up. Then I'm going to cut it this way. So I'm going to cut it so that it's 4 inches per column and then 5 1/4. So it's going to make a front panel. If you decide that you don't want portrait and you want it to be landscape, then you're going to cut it this way. You're going to cut it 5 1/4 going this way. And then, oops, I wrote this down. Yeah. 4 inches is going to be the height. So the width is 5 1/4 and the height is going to be 4. Okay. Just to give you an idea of how differently you can arrange things. So as I mentioned before, I'm going to cut this in 4-inch columns. So I can go ahead and cut it 4 inches down right now, or I can cut the middle part off. But knowing me, I'm going to mess up. So I'm going to do it the easy way. So I'm just going to cut it at 4 inches all the way through. And I decided I'm going to do this when I do my live so that you guys can follow along. Okay, so I've got that, the middle piece, and this is going to be 5 1/4. Now, Because I want this part to show, I'm not going to cut it this way. So I'm not going to cut it at 5 1/4 because look at all this gorgeous design that's going to get cut off. So instead, I'm going to flip this around because I want to keep that design. And it's this middle piece that I'm not going to end up using for my card. I can use it for something else later on. So this one has a design on that side. So I'm going to make sure that that's the side that stays intact. Sorry. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. So it's the middle piece that's blank that's going to get discarded because we don't need that. And here I'm going to repeat the process for this side. I want the 2 corners because they're just gorgeous. The designs are gorgeous. And I'm pretty sure that this designer series paper, if I'm not mistaken, is part of what's on sale because there's a sale going on right now for the in colors. So it does have the Darling Duckling in this color here. So I'm pretty sure it's part of those that are on sale. Don't quote me on it. And then what I did was I just prepared the cardstock with the matching colors. So we've got basic beige, pink petal, Darling Duckling, mossy meadow, old olive, and this is the new one, the Secret Sea. I think that's called Secret Sea. So I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. I'm just going to kind of wing it. So maybe what I'll do is I'll make a card with each of these colors just so that you could see the difference with how these turn out. Okay. And these are just going to be very simple cards because the paper just really speaks for itself. Oops, I think I'm using the wrong one. That glue's almost dried up. And you've heard me say before that the Tombow glue is my adhesive of choice. And see, it's so pretty. You really don't need anything else. Hi, Jeanette. Very interesting. Thank you. Thank you so for watching. She's tuning in from Australia. Okay, I just need to move my designer series paper out of the way. So I just prepared the sayings in advance. These are the sentiments that come in the stamp set. And the dies cut out those 2 shapes out. And I just did a backing. Man, I was so proud of myself. I just got back from a trip. And I don't know if you guys, if the same things happen to you, but every time I go on a trip, my nails always end up chipping, right? Because of just handling the luggage and everything. And this time around, I was so happy because they didn't chip. Mostly because I had it polished with gel polish before I left to protect my nails. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I removed the gel polish, it chipped. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Such a simple card, but it's so pretty. Okay, and let me use the next color. I am just randomly choosing the cardstock that coordinate with this stamp set. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but I know that any of the colors will work because all of the colors are in each of these front panels, which makes it great because you have a variety to choose from. Okay, and if I want to, because the way this is, the way the pears are facing, you can actually make this landscape. It doesn't have to be portrait, right? So I think what I'll do is I use one of the bigger sentiments for this one. So this one says, a good friend is a gift. And later on, I'll go back and I'll add the embellishment. Okay, that's one down, two down. Let me grab my mossy meadow. And we'll do this one here. Now this stamp set only has 4 sentiments with it. So what I did with my other cards is I supplemented it with another stamp set. And I'll show you that when I show you the cards that I made. And then I can always go back and I can add some ribbon to this just to add a little bit more interest to the cards. Thank you. And I think I'll put it like right in the middle. See how easy this is? You can easily make 6 cards in a jiffy. Okay, I use the mossy meadow. Now I'm going to use the darling duckling. Okay. Maybe I use this one with it because it has, or should I use this one? I use this one because this one has more darling duckling in the print than the other cards do, or the other panels. I deliberated whether or not to add a backing to this, but in the end I decided not to, because I just wanted to show you that you don't need a backing because the paper and the designs are just pretty enough that it's not needed. But of course, if you want to do that, then you can. I'm always a little bit worried when I mail these cards that the thicker and heavier I make them, the more postage it's going to cost. So I try to keep in mind that I want these cards to be thin enough and to weigh less enough that I just need one stamp. I think the stamps are up to like 78 cents now. Gosh, and can you imagine if you doubled it? That's like, what, almost 78, almost $1.60 per card. One of my friends, she sends out like 30 to 40 cards a month. And I'm just in amazement of her because I'm like, well, that's a lot of cards and that's a lot of money you spend on stamps. And the way things are going these days, you know, everything is just so expensive. And here's the pretty in, no, not pretty in pink, petal pink. I think that's what this one is. And like I said earlier, because each of the panels has each of the coordinating colors, you can't go wrong with any one of them. Okay. Now, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to put this aside for now because I'm going to stamp it at the same time. And this one is Basic Beige. And I'll use it for here. Really, I should have stamped before I put the adhesive. But oh well. Just so that it's a flat surface, because you know when you use the Tombow, sometimes it's a little bit raised. I always tell people the Tombow glue is really strong, so don't go crazy over it, right? Don't use too much. So the stamp set that I use to make my other cards is called The Right Words. I just love the sentiments on this one. To someone worth celebrating every single day. I mean, this is a card that you can send out for a multitude of occasions. Thanks so much for thinking of me. Happy birthday. Hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. This is for a sympathy card, and you guys have heard me say I make more sympathy cards than anything else. Thinking of you, forever loved, forever remembered. I love that. I miss you already. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see lots of good things in you. Wouldn't it be so precious to get a card from someone where that's the sentiment? It just speaks of love, right? I wish I had the right words for a time like this, but just know how much I love and care about you. Sending good vibes. You're so kind, and then it has the word a lot. So I just love the sentiments on this stamp set, and this is actually part of the new annual catalog. So this is one of the new stamps that came out. So I'm going to choose the sentiments that I think I'm going to need for my cards. So that's what I do. You know, when I make my cards, I always keep in mind, what do I think people will need? And those are the cards I make. Okay, I should have checked if the stamp was straight, but it's okay. It'll work. And I'm just going to use the same Old Olive. See how simple that looks? But it's so elegant, right? It's just paper and stamp, a sentiment. And here you go. So this should amount to 6 cards. Yep. Look at that. 6 cards from that one sheet. And all of the cards are gorgeous because of the designer series paper. And at least by doing it this way, I have an idea of which backing I like the most. Which one do you like? Kind of hard to tell, right? But I think I'm gravitating towards this one, the Secret Sea. I like the dark panel, the contrast of it. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and put this on the side. So with that one sheet of designer series paper, you can get 6 gorgeous cards out of it. All right, let me go ahead and show you the other cards that I made. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stop. I just kept going because I just love this collection. Okay, so remember how I told you that I cut out the pears from that one designer series paper? So I have a whole bunch of pears. And this is the card that I made with it. I just put the 3 cutouts here, thinking of you, and then I use one of the designer series paper as a backing for it. Here's another one. Happy birthday. I used 2 different designer series paper. The circle is the Nature's die. Right now, this is on last chance. So this die is on sale. Oh, you guys, if you don't have it, this is a must-have. It's great because it has layering for it, different size. It looks like this. So the circles look like this. This is called Spotlight on Nature Dies. And it's perfect for layering and just showing contrast between things. Okay. All right. And here I use the Secret Sea ribbon. Okay. Here's a gatefold card. And for this one, I used the Meant to Be. Man, I hope I'm not getting it mixed up. I think this might be the one that's on the last chance product. I have to go back and double check. The Meant to Be. And again, this is perfect because it layers. And when it cuts the shape of this on the inside, and then it also cuts a border. So you get 2 for the price of 1. Very cool. And when I open it up, it says, happy birthday. Very pretty, right? I'm going to give this to a good friend of mine. Her birthday's coming up. Here's another one. I used the alphabet party dies, the big banner dies. And here I stamped the pear. Here I wanted to show you guys that because there's 2 different colors on this stamp set, what I did was I took the marker, the Stamp and Blend marker, and I colored in the pears with one color, and then I used another color to do the leaves. So that's something that you can do if you have an image that requires more than one color. Here's another one. I used the dies that I cut out. This is leftover from this card. I am a sucker for not wasting any scrap. So when I cut out these corners here, I ended up with 4 triangles. So I used the 4 triangles for another card. That's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, is when I have scraps from cards, I try to figure out a way to use them to make new cards. Here's another one, and this one just happened to be the scrap from one of those pieces there. See how I was telling you, you can use the die cut, and it cuts out the big image here, and then it also has a border. I don't think I like this card. I might end up chopping it and doing something else with it. And I just stamped the flowers for the inside. This is also another designer series paper in the set. This one I did fussy cut. This is part of the Spotlight on Nature dies. And then here are the pears that I cut out from that one sheet of designer series paper. I tell you, that one sheet generates so many of these images that you can use for your cards. Here's another one. And then what I did was I didn't want the paper to be covered. So for this particular die, I only cut it part of the way because I didn't want to cover up the DSP. I just thought it was too pretty. And this is the last one in no particular order. I don't know if you... No, it's gonna come up in my next Tuesday tip. But when I was cutting out the designer series paper, some of the designs come right up to the edge of the paper, right? But I still went ahead and I die cut it. Don't throw those pieces away because you can always use it for other cards. So these were all images that were cut off, and I just put them all together to make this one card, right? So don't feel like because you don't have a complete image, like let's say this image here, right? So this is the complete image, but when I die cut it on the paper, it was cut like this. It was cut off, but it's still perfectly usable. So that's what I did. I used it to make more cards. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus the 6. So far I have 16 cards made from this particular collection. Am I done? No, because I just love this collection so much. I'm just going to keep playing with it. And I mentioned before, I went ahead and I ordered more designer series paper. And then because you know me, I've got scraps. I'm going to do something with these scraps. Oh, this one's just a blank one. I might end up, it's 2 of the same one. So who knows? I may end up putting it on the same card or a different card. Or put it all together like this. Who knows, right? Okay. In any case, I hope I've inspired you to get this collection because it's a wonderful, it's a wonderful collection. It's so pretty with the different designs that it has, and it's just so much fun to play with. As a quick reminder to everyone, there's several big sales going on right now. There's the in color sale. What else is there? The Celebration, it's going to go away, but the products from Celebration are in the last chance product section. So take a look at that because there's some really great sales going on in there. And I think that's it for now, right? Okay. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Drop a comment. Give me a like or a thumbs up. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. That's it for now, everybody. Just to give you a heads up, next week, Friday, I'll probably have a pre-recorded video because I have a doctor's appointment on Friday. And so I won't be able to come on live. All right, that's it. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.